And we're live. Hello and welcome to Favorite Rugby on Favorite Sports. It is Six Nations time, and we are live for what is a very, very exciting game. In many ways, probably the game of the weekend. Ireland versus France, the number one side in the world, taking on the reigning champions of the Six Nations, and it's been an absolute crack. We're at the Aviva Stadium, which is, I'm sure, going to be absolutely rocking throughout the match. And as the teams are currently out and actually busy shaking hands, dignitary and stuff like that ahead of the anthem, so kickoff just a few minutes away. And yeah, very excited to see what's gonna go down in this game. But whilst I've actually been on a rugby watch long, so to back. Obviously, been quite sort of busy with the SA20 and stuff like that. So you see, haven't been on a rugby watch long in a while. But we're back. We are back, and hopefully we're going to get a great match here. But yeah, we've got a poll running in the comments. We're going to go through some of the team news now as well. So yeah. We're going to see some of the bigs. The names are missing. No Tyke Furlong, for example. No Jamison Gibson Park. A couple of big names missing for Ireland. We'll go through the French side as well. But yeah, I want you to start voting on the poll. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know who you're supporting, who you're backing in this fixture. And what do you think is going to happen? And who do you think is going to go and win the Six Nations even? These two sides very much the favourites for the Six Nations. And yeah, I think they're both. I think this is the opportunity for them to really make sort of a bit of a statement of intent.
Rock speed under 3 seconds in the opposition.
I think they get the result today. Could potentially be the side that will go on to actually lift the trophy itself. So, yeah, big game to come. And we listen to the French anthem, which is one of the most sort of rousing anthems out there.
6 points to 5.
I mean, if you don't get yourself hyped after listening to this
also
anthem,
to the USA.
Dominance, and 5 minutes later they were in for a second try.
The French gave away a team penalty.
Driscoll, Conor Murray picked up and found the perfect pass to Andrew Trimble, who careered over the line and under the posts for a score that put Ireland in front.
With an inquiry ongoing, we still don't know what
executed move and a good finish from the Ulster man. Sexton added the extra 2 points, and Ireland were 12-6 in front after 25.
So please do go and vote in the poll, and so that you can give us your thoughts, stuff like that. And yeah, how's your weekend going? I actually had my housewarming last night, so had a bit of a hangover this morning. It wasn't too bad, to be honest. I was actually supposed to be at the SA20 finals today, so I actually wasn't supposed to be live, ironically. But yeah, we move. You know, a couple of the raining weather in Johannesburg meant the SA20 final has been postponed, so that'll happen tomorrow. And as a result, you guys get me. Yeah, this evening. Aren't you lucky? You know, one person's loss is another person's gain. But yeah, see, I'll be in the comments saying finally live on time. Look, I don't know who I want to win. I used to like both sides, but Tupon's comments about SA teams in the Euro Cup annoy me, and the Irish supporters' arrogance lately also annoying. If France wins, then all the pressure's on them for the World Cup, and honestly don't think they could handle it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even if France don't win the Six Nations, I think they are the team to watch for the World Cup. I think that home World Cup, they are. I mean, I said they win this game, or even if they draw this game, they go number one in the world. So yeah, I do think that they will be the favourites going to the World Cup, even if they come second or third in the Six Nations. I think that they've been building a squad, building up towards this World Cup, and at home the pressure will be on. The pressure will be definitely on. There's no doubt about it. So let's go to some team news, shall we? A couple of players missing. As I said, no Tyke Furlong, which is a big loss. So let's go through them, shall we? Let's start with Ireland, who are the home side. And in the front row, you got Andrew Porter, Rob Herring, Finley Beedham. No Dan Sheehan. which is a very massive loss, but I don't think as big of a loss as everybody's really saying. I think Rob Herring is very much international grade. Maybe not the same type of player in terms of that sort of prolific ball carrying ability, but a very, very solid set piece specialist a bit there. Very quite a physical player as well. So Porter, Beelan's going to have a big job. Obviously, no Tyke Furlong. He's probably the best tight end in the world alongside the likes of France Malherbe. You then got Tyke Byrne, James Ryan, the second row. James Ryan actually playing his 50th test today. Peter O'Mahony, Josh Panderfleer, and Kalen Doris, that prolific loose trio that is, sending a lot of fear down the spines of many an opponent. The halfback pair is Conor Murray, Johnny Sexton. No Jamison Gibson Park. It's going to be a massive loss for them today, but Conor Murray has all the experience in the world. The two wings today are James Lowe, Mac Hansen, Stuart McCloskey next to Gary Ringrose in the centres. Hugo Keenan at full back. Off the bench, Ronan Kelleher, Dave Kilcoyne, Tom O'Toole, Ian Henderson, Jack Conan, Craig Casey, Ross Byrne, and Bundy Aki. For the men in blue from France, it is Cyril Baye, Julien Marchand, and Uni Antonio in the front row. They're going to have Clementon, Paul Willemse in the second row, Anthony Gelange, Charles Olivon, Gregory Eldred. I mean, star quality packs going up against each other today. Then Anton Dupont, Romain Intermac, that halfback pairing, which when it clicks, is probably one of the most entertaining, if not the most entertaining halfback pairing to watch in World Rugby in an international and club setting, actually. You've got Ethan Dormatier on the one wing, Damien Pinot on the other wing, Euro Mufana, partners Gail Fiku in the centres, Thomas Ramos, and that prolific boot of his as well at full back. Off the bench, you got Gaëtan Bolo, Reda Wadi, Sipili Falita, Roman Toafifanoa, Francois Kroos, Sekou Matulu, Baptiste Couloud, and Mathieu Jalabert in the number 23 shirt as well. And big games are set for. I mean, I think players. I mean, for example, if you look from a South African perspective, got to watch a lot of those players last year, maybe for the first sort of time properly in a while, because South African fans generally don't watch a lot of international rugby unless it's sort of really something for the Springboks. So and maybe you do watch a bit, but you don't sort of focus on as many players when they play against your team, for example. But yes, so. Yeah, go and vote. We got the poll running. We've got 30 votes in the poll, so keep going with the polls, please. Go and keep voting. Yeah, Anton Dupont warming up. This is going to be a fantastic clash. I'm absolutely frothing for this. Anton Dupont, Johnny Sexton, both captain their sides, both former World Player of the Years. Rob Herring, big match ahead for him. Wayne Barnes, the man with the whistle in the middle. And we've got kickoff. France playing left to right, and they do get things underway, and there's an early touch for Stuart McCloskey, who is taking now inside the 22, and Conor Murray going to Johnny Sexton. Johnny Sexton to Tyke Byrne. The only Tyke in the line today, no Furlong. Now back to James Lowe, who's going to bring out that left boot of his. Is not his best kick. You can see, and it hasn't even gone out there. In fact, he's actually completely mishit that. Yeah, I think he hit the spider cam. We really need to get rid of these spider cams. It's actually becoming like a regular occurrence. We saw it in the SA20, a ball hitting the spider cam, and dead ball. We're now seeing it twice. In fact, a couple of times in the rugby spectre where a kicker is sort of labeled as a scrum because it's hitting the spider cam. That's just getting annoying now. So I would be a very big advocate of canning the spider cam. But first part of the game, 944 kgs. France, 882 for Ireland. So literally a 62 kg difference between the two sides. But the one thing I think, we've learned in the last couple of years is that size and weight doesn't translate to dominance. It's all about technique. So it's a pretty good early scrum there. It looks from Ireland. Right, Sexton going to Gary Ringrose. Gary Ringrose going to his right boot. And Thomas Ramos slips just ahead of Mac Hansen. A bit of pressure on there, but Anton Dupont does get there. Remaining to Mac's first touch, and he goes short. Olivon, they're taking it now into Mac. Going to Paul Willemse. South African-born French lock. Back to the left-hand side. First touch for Aldrich. At first receiver goes to Intermac. Egel Fiku sort of just bumps off Gary Ringrose and keeps going. It's going to be a very nice clash, those two. Now trying to hold the ball up there off Ireland, but eventually comes down to ground. And it's available for Anton Dupont, who's shaping up for the box kick here. Yeah, this is high in the air. This will be a big test here for Hugo Keenan, who's very prolific, good in the air. So it's Conor Murray. In fact, the ball comes off from his... There doesn't seem to be any advantage. France have actually turned the ball over, though. Gregor Aldrich being brought down to the ground. They're just inside the Irish half on the left-hand side here. A couple of big props, so he does go to Cyril Bay. Nice hit on him. Seems to be a boot, or I think it's a scrum cap flying around. Number four there is Ty Byrne brings down Clement. Good ball there to Anthony Gelange. And the ball pops up, but Gregor Aldrich is there to grab it again. So almost turnover ball for Ireland. Now they've got numbers here. They've got numbers. Gael Fiku goes himself. Is eventually brought down by Peter O'Mahony. So it's good ball retention here from France. Pick up and go for Gregor Aldrich. He's slightly isolated, but Anton get the ball out very quickly. Remain into Mac. Short to Antonio. Ty Byrne with another tackle. He must have racked up at least 4 or 5. Penalty advantage for not running away, though, for France. And a couple of players on the outside there. I think Charles Oliver, they're trying to get on the outside. And there's a boot. There's a scrum cap lying around. This is getting very messy. The ball comes loose. Turn over to Rob Herring. They go back for the penalty, and I reckon we're about to have our first points of the game, as France win a penalty pretty much right in front, and I'll be very surprised if the French do not decide to just pop this over and get that team scoreboard ticking. Yeah, Ty Byrne just getting caught on the wrong side of the rack, not being able to roll away. Please do smash the like on the video, by the way. If you are new, subscribe to the channel as well. And Thomas Ramos will have a shot at goal here. Very adept with the kicking team. Alright, that looks pretty good, and it'll sail over. So France will get things underway here. They'll go 3-0 up within 5 minutes. Thomas Ramos, the man, with the 3 points. Apparently 6,000 French fans making the trip up to Ireland, and Fabien Galtier watching on in those pretty iconic glasses of him. Right, goes pretty short there, does Johnny Sexton. That's a good take there from Charles Olivan. Remember, if you're looking to watch the game, check out the description. There's a full guide on how to watch the game, and it's very, very easy. You can download ExpressVPN, and you go and you connect to a UK server, and you go to ITV, and you can watch it for free. It's that easy. But now, after the kickoff to Ireland with attention here, Johnny Sexton going, wrapping around here, Sexton, bringing in Matt Hansen as well, going to James Lowe. James Lowe pops onto his left, and Thomas Ramos is reeling a bit over here. And did he not step and touch there? James Lowe after Anton Dupont is under a lot of pressure. He's going to have to put it down here. It's Anton Dupont, but I think if we go back and look, I reckon there might have been a foot and touch. I think it's going to be a line. That's a brilliant work from Ireland. Johnny Sexton using the space really well. Nice kick in behind from James Lowe. Bit of a fumble from Thomas Ramos, which put him under pressure. The ball sort of bubbled right in front of him, and I think it's here. As he picks it up and throws it back in, yeah, it does step on the line. That's what it looked like. So now Rob Herring will have an opportunity to defeat the line on the 5-meter line. And he goes to James Ryan, playing 50, and they're peeled off to the side here. Pretty good looking maul here. Conor Murray's in there as well. He's trying to get that ball out. Once the call, the ball does pop out, and Omani jumps on it. It's available for Conor Murray. Caden Doris now. Quick ball. It's a really good line being run there by, I think it's Rob Herring. Now James Ryan. Good work this from Ireland. Now Tyke Byrne. Slow ball here, but they're trying to hold him up. Oh, McCloskey, almost a bit of a show and go there. They're right on the doorstep here, Ireland. The current number 1 in the world. Pick up a go from Doris. Has he got grounding? He's just short, apparently. Looks like Andrew Porter. I think also playing his 50th test today, if I'm not mistaken. Conor Murray. Jay Ringrose didn't want it, so signal to go away. So Rob Herring is there. Couple of pick up and goes here. Good defense so far from the French. Ringrose there. They usually got a Ringrose. Thought about popping out to Johnny Sexton, going himself. Once again, just short here. Andrew Porter, can he get low enough? Can he get grounding? Ball's up, turnover ball. That's really good work there from the French. Yeah, he just can't get it down. He lands on the knee of Surabai. And just no up. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get that ball down at all. Right, the restart. Going deep there. James Lowe underneath it seems to have lost his hairband. Now Kevin Doris will get things underway. It's another carry from him. Now Finley Beelum. Oh, inside ball. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Hugo Keane getting all the way. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Goodness me. That is incredible. That might be one of the best interventions that Finley Beelum has ever got. I mean, pop up to him and he turns around, sees the extra space. Keenan's calling for it, pops him in, and Hugo Keenan sliced through the French team like a hot knife through butter. Look at this. Bang. And he's straight through. He's got options left, options right. Goes himself. Over he goes. Bang. Pre-planned move there. That is absolutely top draw. Top draw. I mean, who would have thought that your tight head props putting him into the gap there like that? That is absolutely brilliant. Look at the smiles on the face of the Irish coaching box. What a play. Reminds me of Australian inside ball. Yeah, I mean, that's just. Yeah, not impressed there as Romanian to Mac and Thomas Ramos, but what a move. What a touch from Finley Beelum. Right, Sexton to try and add another 2 points. Does add 2 points. He's well over 1,000 points. Is Johnny Sexton for Ireland, and they'll keep that ticking. And yeah, I mean, he's looking to go to the World Cup this year. He's looking to keep adding to that tally. Be interested to see where he eventually gets to. The veteran, former player of the year, world player of the year. That is Johnny Sexton. But I mean, that's just a brilliant piece of play. What a game so far. That's a really nice French defense, and then took a moment of genius from Ireland to penetrate it. And 7 points to 3 after 10 minutes. We could be in for an absolute cracker. James Ryan going and getting that ball just on the 22 there. I think it is inside, so Conor Murray will be able to find touch here. Very exciting 10 minutes of the first half of the first game of the second week of the Six Nations. And doesn't find touch there, does Conor Murray. Goes to Thomas Ramos, who's wrapped up by Lowe. He's a little bit isolated, in fact. But eventually the French supporter arriving. Another carry there for Anthony Gelange. Well, Flement now. France just inside their own half and sort of the centre of the park. Now working their way towards the right-hand side. Paul Villeneuve puts his head down, but met hard in the tackle by his opposite locks. Not much on here, so Anton Dupont's going to go to the boot. Yep, hammers it in the air. Pinot is circling, as is Olivon. And the penalty, I think it's a knock-on from Charles Olivon there, so it will be an Irish scrum. Last Irish scrum, so a bit of pressure being exerted on Finley Beelum, who's got the try assist for that lovely little inside ball as well. So now he's going to have to get back to his core purpose and start knuckling it down against a pretty large French pack. Well over 900 kgs. Almost a ton is the French pack today. Oh, this is not good for Ireland. Tyburn looking a bit sore there. It's his shoulder. And looks like he's going to continue. Doesn't look particularly happy, though. What a player Tyburn is. And yeah, I think Ireland very much looking to sort of play that really high tempo, try and see if they can tire this very large French pack. Going to move them around the park a bit. That's a much better look scrum there for Ireland. Go to the right-hand side. Johnny Sexton. Thomas Kloski, I think it is there. Hammers it towards the right-hand side. Ramos is underneath it, though. And it's been tough. It's been charged down, actually. Now Mac Hansen has to get back, and he's been taken out without the ball. And Conor Murray has knocked it forward, so advantage here for France. And it's Dumatia who's eventually brought down. So by first receiver, Gael Fiku, lots of options towards the right side. Remain into Mac. It's got to look right side. Tackled by Marnie and now Josh van der Fleer making the tackle there as they go inside. Gael Fiku once again. Mac Hansen's come up and he's made the tackle. It's a good tackle. He's had to make a good read there on Moafana. Almost there to scrum half into Mac. Going pretty short to Cyril by. A couple of Irish players are ahead of him and he loses a bit of ground there. Ball spills out over there. And Julian Marchand under pressure as Ireland almost drive France back inside their own half. Gael Fiku gets up and goes. Gael Fiku almost straight through. Pops up the ball too. Down to DuPont. Inside ball. It's a great read there from Josh van der Fleer. Omani's now dived on it and he needs a bit of support. Penalty. Yeah, needed the support. A couple of French players were over there on the jackal. And an isolated Omani has conceded the penalty. Sorry, it's for Josh van der Fleer. He's conceded the penalty there. Really good work there from France. But good defense there from Ireland, I must say. Gael Fiku, nice link-up play here. This to Anton Dupont. If this ball went to hand, it would have been very interesting. But Josh van der Fleer is making that dive, disrupting it. It was actually Omani then dived after that. Yeah, so van der Fleer, the one making the slight interception. But Gael Fiku, to get nice touches. When he plays a bit of confidence, one of the best centers in the world, I reckon. Good old Gael Fiku. I'm not sure. Mac Hansen, I'm not sure I'm approving of that moustache. Right, Thomas Ramos will be looking to try and reduce the deficit to just 1 point in the 15th minute. Pretty much straight ahead. And he does though. He goes standing over the middle. 7 points to 6 after 15 minutes. Ireland still the 1 point lead. France keeping themselves within touching distance. And both sides looking quite industrious with the ball in hand. Bit of a messy restart there. Ireland once again got quite short. This time central. And they had caught France behind away, but they had them well to retain it. Now Anton Dupont. And they're just outside 22. Can't find touch. Is looking for distance though as he hammers that towards the right hand side. James Lowe underneath it. James Lowe kick and chase himself. And ball comes back towards the Ireland side, but then eventually falls back to Anton Dupont. Gets away from one. Pops it up And Damien Penno is coming, is drifting left there. We'll find over now. Demeter under a bit of pressure. Really good work this from Ireland, though, making it a really good defensive line that's quite difficult to penetrate. And now they're going to have to restart. Paul Willemse will get things back underway. Now Intermac. And he pops it to Johnny Sexton. Sexton will put it in the air for Hugo Keenan to chase. Now McCluskey come off the line there. And Intermac now picking up the ball from the inside to Demeter. Not a great kick. So Mac Hansen having a bit of an opportunity here. He wants to go inside. No, he wants to go himself. Sees a bit of space. It's chipped and chase. A lot of traffic for him to get through. And Intermac has managed to get it. And then Wayne Barnes getting in the way. It's a horrible pass though from Intermac. And this is very messy. Forced to Penno. He's got a bit of space though. It's also opening up inside him. Now Jalonch is going. Needs somebody to play. Oh, it's been over to Penno. And he's going to go all the way. Oh my word. Mac Hansen running into, I think it was Stuart McCloskey. And France have gone from being absolutely nowhere, under pressure, throwing loose passes, everything. And they've turned around. Damien Penno has pretty much almost gone the full distance. I mean, he found the gap as the Irish defence eventually sort of opened up. Managed to bring in Jalonch. Went back to Penno. And he's gone all the way into the corner. And France get their first try. And look at this. I mean, it all comes from this chip over here. From the 22, Intermac throws a horrible, horrible pass. And Ramos has done a lot of pressure there. He pretty much just hits it along to Penno, who then steps inside. Bang, gets inside of Porter. Sees the space. Inside ball to Jalonch. More important, he's following up here. Jalonch is eventually wheeled in by Johnny Sexton. Bang, direct to Penno. Mac Hansen runs to Conor Murray. And Penno's away. So much space. So much gas. And you give him half a yard. And he's going to take it. Game on. 7 points to 11. What a game we have on our hands here. Ramos now with the kick there, and it will come inside. So it's 3 from 3 from him. That's a great inside ball there. Look at the pace on display though. Okay, says waiting for the rain and enjoying the commentary. Null sprayed. Well, I hope that Null sprayed as well. Apparently a lot of rain up there. I saw some videos of Kruger and all the floods and stuff like that. So I hope everything's all well that side. Oh, charge down from Ramos. And it falls back to Ireland. So Ireland once again on the attack. And McCloskey taking it down to ground here. Now Finley beat him. Slow ball here. Conor Murray going to the right-hand side. Doris going to Johnny Sexton. Popping it up to Josh van der Fleer. Current World Player of the Year. Conor Murray to Rob Herring. He spins on the inside. It's first team being put on a lot of pressure. Now Josh van der Fleer once again trying to get over the advantage line. Quick ball up from Conor Murray to Sexton. Sexton to Armani. Good hands. Ringrose sends a long pass out to James Lowe. And James Lowe is going to... Oh! Has he gotten it down? Well, he's celebrating. He thinks he's gotten it. I'll tell you what, they're going to have a look here. And I reckon he's gone for the spectacular... I mean, he's leapt about 45 meters in the air there. And I wonder if that might actually have been his undoing here. This would be an unbelievable try-save tackle if it is. You see, goes high in the air. He's going to be out here, you know. Ooh, that's a touch. Has he? I'm pretty sure. I think he's on the ground there. I think that boot has touched the ground there. I think this is going to be out, you know. So you have to try and get those legs in the air. Is that touching? I think that's touching. I think that's touching. Trying to see what the commentary are saying. So he goes into the air there, and it's just his right foot, which seems to just scrape the grounding. Half the ball's in there. Actually, I wonder if you can have a look at the tackle here as well. I think they're now actually looking at more of the ball because the ball has been touched. This is going to be an interesting call. This is going to be very interesting. They're now. I think they're happy with the foot, but I think that they're now looking at when he places the ball because half of it does seem to be on the white line in touch. So they're trying to see does it hit the ground first infield of play before the white line. Try's been awarded. The try's been awarded. Big call. It was a big call. Yeah, I think that foot was close. Very, very close. I think it could have gone either way, to be honest. But Ireland, 12 points to 13. They've reduced the point to a 1-point deficit. James Lowe's got a try. What form he is in at the moment. And so useful to this, and so important to this Irish side. Got that massive left boot of his that he uses. Very physical and a pretty good finisher. The New Zealand-born number 11 for Ireland. Right, Johnny Sexton right up against the touchline here to try and take the lead back. Not going to be a particularly easy kick, but he has slotted many a similar kick in his career. Has Johnny Sexton right up against? I mean, literally couldn't have been further towards the touchline if he tried. Just wants to start this on the right hand pole, and then just fade it in a little bit, just draw it in golfer's terms. And yeah, I started far too straight and it just sort of hooks it away. So 12 points, 30 is how it remains. France ahead after 21 minutes. More to the point, we are literally scoring at more than a 0.8 minute at the moment. And yeah, I mean, that all came from that Thomas Ramos mistake, getting charged down. And then look at the hands here. Yeah, well, there we go. Try time. What a game this is turning out to be. Goodness me. Well, I'm going to end the poll. There's 109 people have voted on it. And let's see who everybody reckons is going to take the honours today. Everybody going with Ireland, 60%. France, 35%. 3% backing a draw. Good restart there for Ireland and making some good progress. Now, Conor Murray from the base of the ruck puts it in the air for James Lowe, the try scorer to chase. Thomas Ramos, the man whose mistake they capitalised on, getting away from one, eventually being brought down by Rob Herring and Ty Byrne. Ty Byrne over. That's a brilliant turnover from Ty Byrne. Goodness me. And now Paul Willemse not running away. It will be a penalty for Ireland. That is brilliant from Ty Byrne. Straight over the top. Thank you very much. Helps himself. Turns the ball over. And then Paul Willemse is guilty of not running away. Now completely isolated. And he gets his hands on the ball so quickly and completes the turnover. I tell you what, it's a good game, but I reckon Ireland, despite being a point down, I think they've got all the momentum here. You know, I think that French try very much against the run of play. The two Irish tries have been quite well crafted and very much seem to have the momentum so far as the Johnny Sexton's kick finds its way into 22. So attacking lineup now for Ireland, the home team playing with a lot of confidence. Rob Herring has hit his man last time, and it took a lot of good French defence to stop them from scoring the last time they were in the final sort of quarter of the field. And they do go to James Ryan, but a messy lineup. The mistake there pops it, and Ferment comes away with it. So that's a big mistake there from Ireland, a big let-off for France. Turnover ball now. Anton Dupont just outside the 22 will launch it downfield, looking for possession. And James Lowe, what's he going to do? He puts it up towards the middle of the park. Hugh Keane is chasing hard. Really well read, though, from Ramos. He pops up to Intermac. There are a couple of numbers here. Intermac goes down to round of the tackle of Joe McCloskey. Now, Dupont going around the right hand side. Thought about the kick, and he's trying to get away from Caleb Doris. Does get away. Now steps away from Andrew Porter. He always just seems to have so much time as Anton Dupont. Still going as Dupont. He's eventually brought down. But I think it was McCloskey there. And now turnover ball. Oh, this could be interesting. Give it to him. Give it to the man with the pace. Hugo Keenan, what's he going to do? So many players up there. Comes inside. Turnover ball for Ireland there, but there was the 22. Jeepers, this game goes one way, then the next. Right, Conor Murray going to Andrew Porter, first receiver to Hansen. Good hands there. And Omani eventually brought down. Pick up and go from Mac Hansen. Conor Murray going. Oh, if Dorsey get that pass out to low, got a bit of space. He's right up against Anthony Gerard. She does make the tackle up against the touchline there. Finley Beaton once again at first receiver. Oh, that's a huge hit from Antonio on Rob Herring. Goodness me. But I'm retaining possession. Peter Omani now puts his head down. What a hit. And Rob Herring is, yeah, he's down. He's down as Rob Herring. He's not happy, and I'm not surprised because that hit from Antonio was brutal. And now it's landed at his feet. And he's popped it up to Johnny Sexton. Johnny Sexton sees a bit of space. Johnny Sexton tries straight through. Inside. Ramos makes the tackle. He needs an option as Johnny Sexton. The French defense just caught napping. Inside once again. McCloskey is just short. Gail Fiku competing the tackle. Not running away. Penalty advantage here. Ireland got to score surely. Now, a long pass out wide has been intercepted, but they will go back for the penalty. And goodness me, what a passage of play that was. A huge hit. Johnny Sexton slicing through the defense. I tell you what, the French defense at times has been pretty impressive. What a match. I mean, that is huge on Rob Herring. I mean, Antonio's a big lad. I mean, you'd have to pay me a lot of money to run into Antonio. I mean, he's all 150 kgs of him. And I think Rob Herring felt every single one of those. We're actually now going to be reviewing that tackle to see if there's any potential foul play. So if there is, I'll tell you what, he could be in quite a bit of trouble. So you're going to see he is pretty upright in the tackle. Oh, no, he's done. He's done. He's dropped his shoulder. There's no wrap. There's no arms in there. Yellow card for Antonio coming up. That is actually, when you look at it now from that angle, it's a dreadful tackle. It's a big tackle, but it's a dreadful tackle. And if it's head and it's shoulder to head as well, if it's shoulder to head, it could be a red card here, actually. This could be the end of Antonio's game. I'll tell you what, I think he could be off here. I think we could be in red card territory here for Antonio. He's very upright. I mean, his arm's sitting over here, so there was never ever an attempt to get the arm up or attempt to wrap. And I think if you look at this angle here, it does seem to be direct shoulder to head contact. Yeah, I think they're basically saying that the contact's not straight through the head, sort of more over here. So I think a yellow card is probably where we're going to be at. Yeah, yellow card. That's a dreadful tackle, though. Absolutely dreadful. I think he's actually lucky that he didn't have direct head contact there, because I think that kind of tackle could have gone very wrong very quickly for the big man. Right, so big moment this for Ireland. They've got a penalty on the 5-meter line. And the French tight head will be spending 10 minutes in the bin. So, what to do here? Will they be looking for a scrum? Yeah, they are going to look for a scrum. Which means they're going to have to bring on a replacement tight head. So, Sipili Falatia is going to have to come on. And his first port of call is going to be to try and withstand an Irish scrum on the 5-meter line, right by the poles as well, pretty much center of the field. Couldn't have asked for much better placement to have an attacking scrum. All right, this could be a big moment in the game. We're sitting at the 25-minute mark. It's still a point behind. And HIA for Rob Herring, yeah, I'm not surprised. The way he stayed on after that didn't look particularly good at all. So always err on the side of caution. Right, so Ronan Kelly will get on. Remember, if you're looking to watch the game, check out the description. You can go download ExpressVPN and watch this game for free on ITV. So if you're missing any of the action, you don't need to go and download ExpressVPN and go and watch it live on ITV. The links that you need are in the description. And yeah, because it's a pretty good game. Yeah, I'm surprised I got a red, to be honest. I think that I think there was head-on shoulder contact, to be honest. He's basically saying that it's like almost sort of here, not directly through the head. I'm not convinced, I must admit. Right, Conor Murray at the back of the scrum. Got McCloskey on the angle. Is just short. Conor Murray got himself. Managing to turn to present the ball. Finley beat him now. Just short. They're going to try and get Conor Murray out of this. Pick up and go. And they're celebrating. And try awarded. Try awarded. Well, once again, we're continuing with that whole scoring more than a point a minute. And Andrew Porter, on his 50th match, does get the try. Yeah, McCloskey had set up on the inside board. Pick up and go with Conor Murray and the retreating French defence, which I think was probably offside, actually. So it must have been a penalty advantage. Came up short. Then Andrew Porter, just a strong leg drag. Gets nice and low. Drives over the line. Right, and Sexton will just pop that over. So easy as you like from him. 17 points to 13 after 27 minutes. Right, so 19 points to 13 after 27 minutes. Right, deep restart there. Oh dear, Ty Burns third inside ball. There's nobody there. Thankfully, Hugh Keenan was awake to the threat, and he manages to get there and clean up, because that could have been very awkward there. And now going back to James Lowe. And that left boot once again looks straight down. Not a great kick there from James Lowe, so it's not out of danger yet are Ireland. France had an opportunity to try and hit back here. Obviously, just watch Lowe's try for the back. He's put Debbie at the ground before he touchdown. Can't stand Sky. The dish doesn't work when it rains. Now I must try because I'm switching to the app. Yeah, we're there. We're there in technology. It's never a good combination. Now, Marchand goes to Clement. Now to Pont. Going to Gael Fico, first receiver. Very strong carry from him. Good tackle he made from Josh van der Fleer. Quick ball. Julian Marchand walking around. The ball coming loose. He's picked it up off the ground and popped it to Pont, who's then thrown it to nobody. Mac Hansen has gotten all over that. Ball out there to McCloskey. McCloskey inside ball to Low. Oh, there's so many numbers here. Look at the numbers. It's gone straight out to Sexton, who's put on the afterburners. How much pace has he got? Looking for the inside ball. It's a great pass to Doris. Doris is brought down by Ramos. Now it's about how many Irish players they can get there. There's a sea of green arriving. They've got to try and recycle this. Ball available there. Eventually, Hugh comes in. McCloskey as first receiver. So I think it's actually Ringrose took it in there. Now Mac Hansen popping it to feet. Oh, it's a huge tackle on Finley Beelum. Now Conor Murray. Eventually, the real scrum off arrives. Strong carry there from Porter. Now Keenan at first receiver. Driven back. Popped up to Conor Murray. Inside ball to James Lowe. Not much structure at the moment, but they go a long pass out to Finley Beelum. Slow boy up and Conor Murray going to Sexton. Sexton, the one who started this all. Long ball over the top. He patched it on the bounce. McCloskey finding himself on the wing. Oh, he just hammered over Anton Dupont. Now Sexton inside ball to Porter. So it's actually inside ball to, it looks like Jack, penalty. It was Kelleher there. Neck roll. That's just discipline. Jeepers, what a pasture play. What a game this is. Well, I'll tell you what, it's really living up to the billing at the moment. And you can see Johnny Sexton there. Bunch of forwards around him, always going to back himself. And then as soon as penalty looks around, great ball inside to Doris. And the neck roll. I think it's by Andrew Porter. Sorry, Andrew Porter. Porter was outside. Shame. I keep giving this guy a lot of grief for the right. It's the wrong person. Right, it's a penalty for France. And then fine touch on the 10-meter line just ahead. Well, yeah, that's 10-meter line. Right, look at some stats. 47 carries by France, 43 from Ireland, 15 gain line success from Ireland, 12 for France. Meters made almost identical. I mean, that's really weird to see how close all those stats are after 30 minutes. Guys, saying on a bus, can't watch the game, but the Wi-Fi letting me stream this channel. Thank you for the great commentary. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And glad we can give you guys something. As Marchand is brought down by Ronan Keller, who's on for Rob Herring, who's having an HIA after the collision from Antonio, which got the French tied to the yellow card. Messy line out there, but it's available for Anton Dupont, who lifts it high in the air. Gael Fiku is chasing, and Mac Hansen's jumping onto it, and it lands back to Gael Fiku. And there's Anthony Gelange there, who really sort of put in the challenge. So turnover ball here for France. Slow ball here for Dupont going to the left-hand side. And Fairtail now taking it up there. And a penalty for not rolling, I think is the call. Yeah, not rolling here. So decision time. This is probably within Thomas Ramos's radar. So do they want to go for the line? Do they want to try and get them? So I reckon you probably go for the 3 points here. Running the clock down a little bit. There's 3.5 minutes left on the yellow for Antonio. You can try to bring that down about 90 seconds. So cut that time in half really. So 8 minutes left in the first half of this clash. Right, it's Thomas Ramos, who's 3 from 3. The predicted kick success rate is 71%. He operates about 61% from this range, apparently. So he's more likely to get this than miss it. And it's looking pretty good. It should go straight down the middle. It does go down the middle. A 6-point lead for Ireland has been cut in half. 19 points to 16 after 32 minutes. The scoreboard just keeps on ticking over. What a match this is proving to be. Once again, going very short from the kickoff there. This time, France, much better kickoff for them as they do help the position. And Dupont just very happy to ask a couple of blockers and wind the clock down a little bit. 1 minute 40 still left on the clock for Antonio. Dupont goes pretty deep there. Hugh Keane underneath it. Looking for options, goes himself, brought down by Gael Fiku. A couple of Ireland players are there to secure that ball. Conor Murray going to Sexton. Sexton going to McCloskey. So I think it's Ringrose actually. Ringrose not too much on, so he just hammers it down the middle. And he's going to kick over. So he's going to chase his own kick as Dupont goes to Intermac inside. Great tackle from Ringrose to Intermac. But so Dupont there is to grab the ball, loose ball on the ground as he hands it off to Gregory Aldrich. Been a quiet game so far. I haven't seen much of Aldrich. And Kelly almost being held in that ruck, but doing very well to manage to get himself out of there. Now DuPont does pop back up. He's got Intermac in the pocket as well as Ramos, but he's going to go himself here, I think, will DuPont. No, does go to Intermac. Intermac playing the territory game, hammers it down the middle of the park to Keenan, who's got James Lowe on his right-hand shoulder. Keenan sees a bit of space down that right-hand side, and Intermac is there. And he returns the favour. Mac Hansen retreating. Inside to James Lowe. Now we're going to see that big left boot. I think he will look for touch here. And he does find touch. That'll be inside French territory as well. So, nice little territory battle there. We haven't seen too much of that, actually, so far. And, Antonio getting ready. Just 10 seconds left on the clock, so we'll probably have to be able to come on after this line out. Yeah, it's just inside French territory. So Julien Marchand will probably look at Ferment. No. That's a much better line there from France. Well taken there from Charles Devon. Good looking Rolling Moore. We actually haven't seen any Rolling Moore so far this match. And they made about 10 meters here, France. Now DuPont breaking. Going to Fiku. Bringing in Romain Intermac. Goes to Ramos. Sees a bit of space as Ramos. And Ramos came off the line. And James Lowe had to complete that tackle. Now thrown back inside from Delonge. Now Olivon taking it up. A turnover ball here. And they've kicked it ahead. Josh van der Vlier is tearing after this. As does James Lowe. And Dan Pinot gets away from one, gets away, right straight into Ty Byrne. That's really, really good stuff there from Pinot, actually, under pressure. Marchand now. Big head on him, managed to get the offload away to Mofana. So France now with the ball about the 10-meter line on the right-hand side of the park, going to remain Intermac. Short to Ferment, good carry from him as well. I mean, the way that these two teams are trading possession. Now Mofana. Good carry from him as well, so it's a tier there. Remain into Mac himself. And he's thrown it straight into Mac Hansen's hands. Now to Keenan. Right, well, here we go. Chase. And he's got the pace there. Ramos. He chips it inside to Mac Hansen. Will he get a bounce? Gael Ficou's there. He's let the ball behind Mac Hansen. The strength from DuPont. How has he not scored that? Anton DuPont. Take a bow. They're still on the brink here, our island. But what a try-saving tackle that is. Ty Byrne now. Terrible pass, but it was running on the floor, but eventually picked up. Conor Murray popping it up now to Wikowski. Steps aside one, goes to ground. Ireland still on the front foot. Going to Hansen, and Mac Hansen just thrown it out. Anton DuPont, take a bow. What a try-saving tackle. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, Mac Hansen literally picks up this ball, and there's literally 2 meters between him and the try line, and a one Anton DuPont. And Anton DuPont has managed to get into a position and just drag him to the side, and just refuses to let him get over that try line. I mean, he's basically almost over. We saw Adolf van der Merwe doing something very similar. I mean, there's the strength there from Anton DuPont. It's absolutely amazing. He's just refusing flat. I mean, look at those legs working. Oh, goodness me. A different breed at times is Anton DuPont. A different breed. Because he can do it all, can't he? I mean, he's a terrific defender, terrific attacker. Game management is brilliant. Best scrum half in the world, for good reason. Gael Ficou's taken a while to get on onto his feet here. It does look like he'll be alright to continue, though. And Mac Hansen must be sitting there wondering how he didn't score. That's it. He was literally basically over. He just needed to try and get his momentum down, but Anton DuPont just absolutely refusing to let him do that. Right, Antonio back on the park. Good line up there. Oh, cheap as well. Oh, and that's horrendous. That's absolutely horrendous. Conor Murray, will he be the beneficiary? It's been held up. We'll go back for the scrum, though. That is absolutely... I mean, that is amateur hour. That is absolute amateur hour there. The pass has gone straight into Anthony Delange, who wasn't expecting it. He's knocked it on. Conor Murray, from the knock-on, has almost run over. It's really good work in the end by Cyril Baye, as Conor Murray can't get it done. But they will have a scrum on the 5-meter line with just 2 minutes left on the clock of the first half. And I tell you, from the sublime to the ridiculous, really. sporadic, I think, is and inconsistent is probably the best way to describe this French performance so far. There's some really good moments and some dreadful moments. Right, taking quite a while to get this scrum going. As I said, Antonio back on, so that's a big boost for France. But Ireland would very much be looking to try and put the hammer down here. Just 3 points in the games at the moment. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. Ireland with the scrum on the 5-metre line on the far right-hand side. They've got the full width of the field to work with here. And they must have something ready here. We've got McCloskey. So Johnny Sexton sitting right behind the scrum. McCloskey, Ringrose very flat. Hugo Keenan pretty close as well. So difficult to sort of gauge exactly what the plan is here. Pushing before the ball though. Free kick though for Ireland. And Conor Murray is going to, I'm sure Johnny Sexton will just ask for a reset there. Or they look for a quick tap, maybe. Well, it's gone back to Keller here. Which would indicate, I reckon, that we're going to see a quick tap. Right, here we go. Visitors to 22 so far. Ireland 7. 2.7. Quick tap on Keller here. Available for Andrew Porter. Pops it up for Kellen Doris. Big defense now needed for France. Just 70 seconds left. Pops it up to Kellen Doris. Got to pick up and go. So keeping within the Irish forwards at the moment. Peter Armani there coming just short. It's a great pickup off the ground from Ty Byrne. Wasn't the best pass there from Murray. I think the ball actually just got caught in someone's hand or foot or something. Now pick up and go. Another phase here. So far the French defence holding pretty firm. Penalty advantage though. Porter wants a second. Finley Beadham's there. There's so many Irish players on the right-hand side. Conor Murray's going to go himself, surely. He's spun away from one. How has he come up short once again? And we're going to go back for the penalty, I reckon. Yeah, I'll come back for the offside there. Conor Murray and just DePont and Cyril Byers popping up. And I think it's Jalanche as well. Sorry, it's Oliver. Right, so decision time here for Sexton. I reckon he'll be thinking about the scrum here. Could go for the line out. He's going to go for the poles, actually. He's going to go for take the poles. Probably the sensible option in the end. It's on the brink of half-time, so the half-time score will be 22 points to 16. Yeah, it's all about momentum, isn't it, at the end of the day? And the momentum firmly with Ireland, there's no doubt about it. And I've been very impressed with what I've seen from them. A couple of good moments. I mean, this has been some good French defence in the last couple of minutes. They did. How they not conceded a try has been very impressive. But also some absolutely ridiculous moments like that. Straight that pass to Jalanche, who wasn't expecting it, then just spills it in front of Conor Murray. So, yeah, whilst Ireland have definitely been the better side, France very much still in it as Sexton does convert 3 tries to 1 in the first half. 22 points to 16 is how it ends at half-time over at the Viva Stadium. So they'll go have a word and a drink, and they'll be back shortly. We're also going to have a drink and maybe a few words. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And I'll see you guys just in a bit. Right, and we are back. Hello and welcome back to Fair Rugby on Fair Sport. 22 points to 16. The halftime score, Ireland, the number one side in the world, leading against the current Six Nations champions. And what a game it's been. I'm not quite sure how France have actually managed to keep themselves so close to Ireland, who I think have definitely been the better side. We've seen some pretty amazing tries from all ends of the field, really. And we've seen a yellow card. And yeah, we've seen a couple of contentious ones as well, because also now, a new angle appearing on that James Lowe try, sort of showing that maybe his foot was in fact in touch. Although now people are also saying that they reckon it could have been a no arms tackle and therefore, should have been a penalty try. So a bit of controversy within the camp, which is not really that surprising, is it? There's always seems to be a bit of drama in and around Six Nations games, but at the moment, France will need to be better in probably most things. The defense has been a bit passive sometimes. I think they'd really like to be a bit more aggressive with things, try and get start driving Ireland behind the line, try and win some big hits. Although better ones than Antonio, who got himself a yellow card for a high hit on Rob Herring, who's actually gone off, and we actually haven't seen him return. Ronan Kelleher did replace him in about the 26th minute. So we're interested to see if Herring does manage to make it back after the HIA in the second half. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. I'm going to try and put a poll out. A lot of people complaining about the referees, which is, nothing new really. I generally just don't talk about it because I find it very boring. There's always going to be a couple of contentious calls, aren't there? There's always going to be a couple of contentious moments. But in terms of the players we can look to come on, so we saw a little bit of Peter Falatia, who did replace Antonio, but in terms of for Ireland, they can bring on the likes of two British and Irish Lions or forwards, the likes of Ian Henderson, Jack Conan, Bundy Yaki can come on, add a bit of sort of directness to that sort of inside centre channel. Not that McCloskey's been bad, actually. Craig Casey on the bench there, Ross Byrne, Tom O'Toole, Dave Kilcoyne for the French. Something like Mathieu Jalabert can come on. Francois Kroos as well. Remain Taff for Noah, so a bit of size being able to be brought on later. So it'll be interesting to see how the two coaches do use their bench. And then obviously after this game we will have Scotland versus Wales. And Scotland, I tell you what, Scotland go 2 in a row, could almost suddenly put themselves in contention to actually challenge for the Six Nations title after having beaten England last week. If they beat Wales tonight, they'll then have to. They're going to have to beat either a France or an Ireland. That sort of comes in front. It'll probably be quite inevitable. But you never know. You never know. And I think Scotland are a cool team when they're playing well. So let's hope that they can get a decent result tonight. I would like to see them get a decent result. Very interested to see how this Welsh side does respond. They may have made a couple of changes. Gatland not afraid to make some big calls. And we are seeing a very new look sort of loose trio, for example, tonight. Very much a future loose trio for Wales. That will kick off at 6:45. So in about just under 2 hours. 1.5 hours time. And before that, we do have a full half of rugby coming from the Aviva Stadium. Should come in the next few minutes. And I want to get the poll going. And I'm going to just ask her, will Ireland hang on to win? Yes or no? Just a yes or no question. Let's just keep it nice and simple. Nice and simple. Just going to throw it out there. Will Ireland hang on to win? Once it's hanging on, I suppose. They do have a 6-point lead at the moment. But, they do also keep sort of allowing France to get themselves back in the game. And they need to probably just be a bit more accurate about seeing it off. And I think that they'll get the job done. People jumping in on the poll there, so go and vote, please, as we do see a crossing back to the Aviva Stadium. And, 22.16. Ireland will now be playing left to right. As I said, interesting to see how the subs sort of impact the game itself. Ireland will have kick-off. It'll be interesting. They've actually kicked off quite short so far. They haven't really gone deep in the kickoffs. They've gone central, they've gone right. And a couple of times it did sort of throw France a little bit off when they did go sort of quite short. They weren't really expecting it. So interesting to see what they will do from the kickoff here. And he goes to the right-hand side, does Johnny Sexton. That is pretty much the deepest kickoff we've seen from him, actually going into the 22. And we're sitting on Spider Cam, so we've got no idea who that ball was picked up by. We still can't see what's going on. We need to can the Spider Cam. It's already literally interrupted the game. But anyway, Anton Dupont will hammer it deep from the kickoff there. Down the photo of Hugh Keeney, sort of drifts inside, looking for a bit of space. Going to go himself, runs away towards a couple of his forwards. Ronan Kelleher, by the way, is back out again. So it looks like Rob Herring has failed his HIA, which would not be looking good given the fact that Dan Sheehan was already missing. Ireland going down the right-hand side. There's some good movement there from them. Johnny Sexton going to Caelan Doris. Big tackle. That's a bit better in terms of physicality there from the French. Conor Murray, slow ball here. Going to Sexton once again. Going to Josh van der Fleer, who's brought down by Delant and Intermac. Now beat him at first receiver. Sexton, good hands here. Good hands. Pass behind Peter O'Mahony, but takes it well on the turn. Now Conor Murray's going to go to the boot there. And Mac Hansen's going to give chase. It'll be a bit of a test between him and Anton Dupont. So Mac Hansen does seem to manage to rip it out, but it does fall away the way of the French. So Thomas Ramos being taken onto that. Now Anton Dupont's going to ask Paul Wilson to create a decent angle for him. They're just outside 22, pretty much halfway between the 22 and the 10 meter. And Dupont's got a very long sort of caterpillar of players blocking. And he'll be able to kick this nice and deep. Yeah, very much going for distance there. Mac Hansen, good take, goes inside to Hugo Keenan. Hugo Keenan weighing up his options. Got Gary Rings on the other side. Looking to go himself here as Hugo Keenan. Runs towards Gregory Eldred. Presents it to Conor Murray. Caelan Doris is there ready to chase. It will be a contestable. Mac Hansen was actually going quite deep there. So Dupont takes it uncontested. And McCloskey is right on the wing. Throws it inside to Cyril Bay. It's a nice pass out to Ramos, who, not too many options, just hammers it down to Hugo Keenan. So it's Conor Murray, in fact, who brings in Hugo Keenan. He sees a bit of space on the right-hand side, looking to try and turn Ramos, who does decide to mark it. A bit of break and play as the French players will retreat back to the 22. The Iron bench warming up there by the try line. Now Thomas Ramos does take it, and he launches that. He will find touch. And it'll be an Irish lineup on the left-hand side, just past the French 10-meter line. So a nice opportunity here for Ireland to build some more possession inside French territory. It's been a good start here from the home side. It's been a good game from the home side. And they haven't lost the line yet. France did lose. Sorry, they have lost the line. France has not lost the line yet. So Ronan Kelleher will need to try and make sure that he hits his man here. But we have seen quite a lot of ingenuity from Ireland. Josh van der Fleer popping it up there to Conor Murray, going to Johnny Sexton. Good work there to McCloskey. Long ball out to James Lowe. Lowe trying to get on the outside. Penner comes on the inside. Mofana eventually bringing him down just short of the 22. Conor Murray, quick ball to Johnny Sexton. Sexton going to Doris. Thought about the offload. Stepped away from Tip-Off Lament and making a few meters. Now Sexton short to James Ryan. Conor Murray now going to the left-hand side. Sexton going to Keenan. Keenan goes himself. He could come up the line. Does slip the tackle, but... it does go out to ground. Oh, no, we're offload. That is from Caelan Doris to James Lowe. Inside the 22. The ball's come loose. I think it might be a turnover ball here. No, it looks like it is available for Ireland. Brilliant offload that was. Caelan Doris. Now Caelan here. Space in there. Andrew Porter. Almost obstruction, but I think it's all right. Conor Murray looking for options. Going the right-hand side. James Lowe pops it short to Ty Byrne. Not sure it's the best option, but it's a good carry from the big block forward. Now France are trying to test the breakdown. Slow ball here. And James Ryan at scrum off just pops to Finley Beedham. He's hit hard by Paul Willems. I talked about a little bit how the French have been quite passive, but that's not passive at all. That's a brilliant turnover on the ground. That's really good work there from Charles Olivon. Now there's a bit of space. Dumontier. He's still going as Dumontier. Still going as Dumontier. Looking for the offload. Mac Hansen now, and then it comes loose to main Intermac, goes to Fico. There's so many red, blue shirts. Not sure that was the right option there for Fico. Charge down is the kick. Josh van der Fleer now on the charge. Runs into Gregory Eldred. Julien Marchand as well, looking to try and get over that. I think he's won a penalty. That's brilliant. Julien Marchand, one of the best hookers in the world. Over it like a flash. Wins the penalty. And brilliant work there from Dumontier to really get themselves into the position. And then, walk over a bit loose. And Beedham's a little bit isolated, and Marchand's on him like a flash. Yeah, misses far too many tackles. 3 tackles being missed there before Mac Hansen eventually completes it. That's poor defense from Ireland. Right, after 49 minutes, after 50 votes, 75% people saying that Ireland will hang on to win. And as usual, the Google maths not really matching up there. 75% saying yes, 23% saying no. So who knows what the other 2% are saying. Paul Willemse, though, is being replaced. So that can ball lock. He'll be replaced by Romain Tafifanua, but also this is a big blow. Ty Byrne is being being assisted off over there. So that should see Ian Henderson come onto the park. And if Ty Byrne is out for a while, that'll be a big, big loss. But Ian Henderson, a pretty good replacement to have in waiting. The next Six Nations clash, it'll be a bit of a break for a weekend, and it'll be back on the 25th of Feb. Ireland will be taking on Italy, in fact. So usually you'd say an opportunity to rest a couple of players. So, for example, maybe might not be risking, the likes of a Ty Byrne. But to tell you what, the Italian side's playing good rugby at the moment. They'll then have another week break after that, and then back-to-back matches. 11th of March, 12th of March, 18th March is the final day of the Six Nations. So it also wraps up on the 18th there. The final clash, Ireland versus England, in fact, which should be really good. Now, Thomas Ramos is going to take the 3 points here and try and cut that deficit of 6 in half. He's kicked well so far, has the French fullback. Da, 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 da. Right, Ramos has been 4 from 4 so far today for the polls. Kicked very well. They never really like missing, to be honest. This is on the right-hand side. Looking pretty good as well. Looking pretty good. Holds his line. Is it short, though? It's short. That's very interesting. Yeah, I just didn't hit it as well as you would have liked. There's a bit of grass in the air, so maybe there's a bit of wind out there, but it is just short. So that 6-point lead will remain. Right, Johnny Sexton with the restart. Goes on the right-hand side to remain interact. Number 10 to 10. Inside to Gregory Eldred. Eldred looking to go on a run here. Runs into Kelleher and Peter Marnie. Just short of the halfway line. DuPont up to Julian Machado. It is still by. Now to the right-hand side. Intermac goes to the boot. Under a lot of pressure there from Charles Olivon. Big counteract there from France. And they have Turnbull. That's brilliant turnover now. DuPont going still by. Quick ball to Fiku. Bit of space ahead of him. Drifting towards the right. Eventually brought down by Keenan. Quick ball needed here from DuPont. Gives it to Surabai. To Intermac. Good touch. Good touch. Inside there from Damien Penno. This is brilliant from the wing. He's still going. He's still going. He's going to tackle him. Eventually he's brought down by James Ryan. France are 5 meters out. DuPont goes to Julien Marchand. He's a bit isolated, but Kloski's over it. Lost his... does win the penalty. Does win the penalty. Well, that's pretty clutch, and you shouldn't be allowing an inside centre to get over the ball and win a penalty like that. I mean, it's pretty ordinary support play, if it must be said, by France. I mean, to be that isolated in such a good position after doing so well. So looking at it here, so Oliver makes the tackle. Nice big counter-attack coming in, being led by Thibaut Flement. And then eventually, bit of space in there. Penno goes inside, bang, keeps going. Eventually he's brought down by the 5 meter line. And the first phase after that, McCloskey manages to get his hands over that, wins the side a penalty. But again, you've got to feel it's really poor support play because you maybe 2 or 3 phases and France could have scored. Not out of the woods yet, here, Ireland. And Johnny Sexton will be replaced. Ross Byrne comes on. What a match for Johnny Sexton, by the way. I mean, I haven't seen him running that much in a long, long time. But, yeah, fellow Leinster man comes on. Ross Byrne, who's known as a bit of the URC specialist. So it's taken him a while to get himself back into the Irish mix. And he'll now have a good half an hour to try and close off this match and show Farrell what he can do. Conor Murray. Off the back of the line out now. Puts it high in the air. It's not gone particularly far. Mac Hansen is lurking, as is Ian Henderson. And it lands in the hands of Mac Hansen, who then offloads to Porter. And a couple of knocks back, but none forward there, says Wayne Barnes. Conor Murray now going to James Ryan. Good tackle made on him from Anthony Gelonge. Not too much on here, so Murray will go for the box kick. He'll be looking for a better one than the one previously, and that does look a bit better. Mac Hansen's got a lot of work to do, though. And Dumatier getting away from one, brought down by Ian Henderson. France on their own 10-meter line, going to the right and still by. Pick up and go from Aldridge, comes a bit loose there. Tip off for a minute, it's almost burst through a gap. They're looking for the offload. Oh, what an offload that is! Anton Dupont, he's got a bit of support, needs support. Big tackle being made there by Hugo Keenan, pops it up to Mofana. McCloskey once again looking for that turnover. Really good work there. Was an awesome offload from Tabar Flamade. Now, Tafiku, he's drifting towards the left-hand side. He's got a couple of players as well. Gives it out to Dumatier, chip and chase. And Ringrose is there and he'll mark it. Well, exciting stuff there. I'd like to go back and see that offload because that was absolutely fantastic. Ringrose really well placed there. Good retreat as well. And Ethan Dumatier has stayed down. Chip there. He's just running to Hugo Keenan. No foul play or anything like that. This offload from Flamand, I mean, out the back door. I mean, as he's going down, it sort of just pops it up to Anton Dupont. What an offload this is. I mean, the fact that we're in a situation where locks are putting... I mean, come on, guys. The standard of skills in the modern era is absolutely spectacular. I mean, to see a lock doing that, it's dirty. It's dirty, dirty, dirty. Right, Gary Ringrose hammers that down the park, and Ramos taking a while to get there, and he's just say, yeah, that's the longest kick, up to 2.6. I did say it was quite a big one from Ringrose. Keenan doing well there. Now seeing the space on the right hand side, and Ramos has shifted to the left. Now high in the air there, Dumatier to chase. Conor Murray getting it very wrong, and the ball is landing. Sorry, it's a penalty for team taken out in the air. Wow. I think Conor Murray's lucky because I don't think that he was in a particularly good position under that high ball there. And Dumatier is taking him out. He's got underneath him there. But yeah, I think, yeah, a fair penalty, but yeah, I do think Conor Murray got that. I do think that he got it wrong there. Right, so opportunity for Ireland. They're back inside French territory. For the first time in a while, it feels a bit like, even though it's only been 11 minutes. And the ball over the top, good to Peter Marty, but no, as Wayne Barnes says, no, turnover ball. I don't know if he dropped it. I think this is a knock-on as the call. Again, we didn't actually see much going on. TV director could use a bit of work. Go to some of the comments. Brian reckoning that Ireland will hang on. Albie says shocking isolation for no reason. 100% did not need to kick that at all. Stephen says when sub can you not get back on? No, unless there's an injury, then yeah, there's an injury you can come back on, but you can't just go. It's not like writing subs. Right, well here comes Sekou Makalu on for Gregory Aldridge. Remember that France are going with the 6-2 split today, which I think they have to. The size of that pack, very few of those 8s go all the way. And Makalu will go onto the left-hand side there. So Anthony Gelanche will slot in at number 8. Charles Oliveira will stay on the side of the scrum. So that's Sexton gone. Yeah, I mean, he was tactically subbed. He wasn't injured or anything. Right, French scrum here. First scrum with a half, actually. They go to Anton Dupont, who hammers it downfield. That's actually a great kick. There's nobody back there. That's terrible, terrible, terrible. That's terrible positioning there from Ireland. Hugo Keenan's found himself far too far on the left-hand side. And this ball is rolled out about 5 minutes before the 22. It's a fantastic kick from Anton Dupont, but it's really poor positioning there from Hugo Keenan. And all of a sudden, Ireland are back inside their own half with the defensive line, which they have won. And I'm making a few meters here. Conor Murray taking it out, going to Caelan Doris. McAleer looking to hold him up. He's done very well there. I'll tell you what, this could very well be held up. Eventually gets brought down to the ground. Right, Murray. Looking for territory there. To Domatio. He goes back to Ramos. Pretty low there from Ramos. And Conor Murray taking a while just to snap that up. Right up against touchline. Not sure that'll actually find touch. Doesn't find touch. So now Ramos. Intermac is chasing, but Hansen will take this uncontested. Manages to get away from Intermac. Long pass to James Lowe. Steps inside. James Lowe just sort of hacks it ahead with his left boot. A bit of space, but Ramos is there. Once again, will return the favour. Bit of a ping-pong battle here. Hugo Keenan drifting to the left-hand side. Launched it down the left. And Ramos is eventually there. He's inside 22, so he can find touch. Probably will look for touch here. Yeah, it does find touch. In fact, it's a very good touch finder there from Ramos. And he pins the Ireland back onto their own 10-meter line. Right, some more carries now for Ireland. More game, like I said, yeah, the second half, those sort of stats have started to swing a little bit. Yeah, a lot of missed tackles there from Ireland. Paying 31. Oh, that's a horrible line. It's the second line they've lost. And they come back to DuPont. Now long ball out to Gelfiku, weighing up his options. He's got numbers over here. They've got numbers they want to use it. They are just going to run their hands here. Ramos comes in and Gary Ringrose makes the tackle. Sorry, Ross Byrne makes the tackle. Now counter are coming, so Durotier has to try and take that out. A little bit of pressure there. And the ball's been ripped by Ian Henderson, but popped back towards France. Jerome Marchand's come away from it. Runs into Billy Beedham. It's a good tackle there from Ty Ted. Kelleher being taken out by McAleer. Now tip over the top for main Intermac, and Hugo Keenan is racing after it. It does bobble up and allows him to catch it. Now he needs to find a good touch finder. He won't find touch. Straight down the throat of Ramos. Goes inside to main Intermac. Long ball to the left hand to Penrose in the middle of the park, drifting through the wall to the left. Inside ball now to Demotier. Not too much go forward ball. Ross Byrne there completes the tackle. So just looking a little bit stagnant so far from France. Sort of running around, a lot of drifting, not too much directness. That's a bit more direct there from Cyril Bayer, as you kind of imagine. He's not even going to go the long way, is he? Now Intermac to Fiku. He's got Ramos overlapping. Good tackle being made there by James Lowe. I think it's actually Hugo Keenan's coming to the line there. Caelan Doris trying to turn that ball over. Fico to Ramos. Not too much answer. Ramos just hammers on the ground, but Lowe is there. Lowe returns the favour. Is that going to be out in the full? No, it turns out to be a great kick from James Lowe. That's really, really good work there. Yeah, that left boot of his is so important. It's one of the. Any sort of potential replacement for him, you're always going to lose that sort of one little bit of a weapon in the arsenal there. The fact is, that's just a little snap banana kick almost. And look at the tongues out. He's celebrating. Yeah, I'd almost like him, except he unnecessarily tuned the Springboks, and ever since then, you can bugger off already. No need to make the comments that he made, just because he beat an ordinary All Black side. And I've got no issue with calling them an ordinary All Black side, because they are. Right, here we go. A couple of new faces on the park here. Jack Conan the Barbarian. Onto the park. Peter Marnie going off for him. The two giant props for France also making their way. Conor Murray making his way as well, which means we're going to see Craig Casey. And I like Craig Casey. I think he's a nice little scrum off. I'm very excited to see what he can do. He's 23 years old, so very young. And plays his rugby for Munster. Made his debut, I think it was 2 years ago, 2021, as the 21-year-old. Peter Marnie making his way for Jack Conan, British and Irish Lions. Number 8. And, two new props on for France there. Cyril Bayer and Antonio being replaced. Jerome Marchand goes to Tafi Panua. Back to Intermac. Right, James Lowe. He's got Hugh Keenan on the right-hand side. Does give it to Hugh Keenan, who has spotted some space down that right-hand side. In fact, there's plenty of space, and this is going to be a 50-22. How easy was that? I mean, he looks up, and there was just no French players at all, and he said, thank you very much. We'll take an attacking line inside the 22. As easy as that. That's a brilliant kick from Hugo Keenan. Goodness me. Demoteur just absolutely nowhere there. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's going to be a bit of a momentum swing here. Ireland's finally getting a bit more territory. Craig Casey's joined the line out. They go to Jack Conan. Good take as well. Looking for the rolling more. Yeah, but Casey breaks away with it. Brings in McCloskey. Quick ball needed. Casey going on the right-hand side. Going a bit of sniper himself. Penalty advantage as well for Ireland here. So, 3 roll of the dice. Mac Hansen going to James Ryan on his 50th appearance. Now Ross Burns getting away from one, getting away from another. Just short as Ross Burn. Craig Casey. Porter, tell you what, he's almost over for a second there. Casey looking for options, Still penalty advantage here. Goes to Conan. I'll tell you what, if they've gone one more, I reckon there's so much space on that left-hand side. Too late to use it, really. Long ball at the top to James Lowe. Ramos is circling. Has he managed to stay in? Surely he's gone out there. Right, go back for the penalty. Almost feel like I kind of butchered that a bit, to be honest. I think there were a couple of options there that could have turned to a try. Craig Casey running back. Now, the big thing at the moment for Ireland is, first of all, they got a 6-point lead. More to the point, they are 22 minutes out, and they're 1 try away from a bonus point. So they must be thinking, they're going to take the poles, secure the win first. But very soon, I reckon that bonus point might be popping into their minds here. A reminder, if you're looking to watch the game, as well as the next game, as well as tomorrow's game, on a free broadcaster, you can. It's that easy. Go and download ExpressVPN, check the description. We've got all the links you need and stuff like that. Go and follow that. And you can watch this game on ITV, you can watch the next game on BBC, and you can watch tomorrow's game between Italy and England on ITV as well. So go and get yourself ExpressVPN and watch all the rugby throughout the weekend for Frizzles, for Mahala. Right, Ross Byrne, first kick of the match, and it's, it's a gimme. It is an absolute gimme. So he's going to pop that open, as he does, and 25 points to 16. 9 points now, more than a converted try, the difference. Right, deep reset start there from France. And Casey looking to run it out here. And tell you what, Mac Hansen eventually goes to the boot. Ramos underneath it. He's got Intermac inside him. Ramos going a bit of a run here. And he's eventually brought down. Bit of space on the left-hand side here. France looking to exploit. McAloo comes on the inside. First carry of the day for Reddy Water. Tougher for Noor. Going on the left-hand side once again. Pinot just a bit stagnant. Eventually brought down. He's a difficult character to bring down. I don't know why it's so difficult for him, but he always seems to sort of take a couple of seconds or a couple of extra meters before they manage to bring him down. Dupont just popping it up too. That's a big tackle. A big hit down on Charles Olivon. Now Fiku, if our play scores Wayne Barnes. Not too much go forward yet from France. Now Mofana being brought down by Finley Beelum and Ross Byrne. Wardy now. Gosh, not much structures from the French attack. As Intermac just goes short to Ferment. Now Dupont inside ball to Macalou. A little bit of variation there. Back to the pocket. Ramos looking for the snap drop goal. I'll tell you what, it's looking pretty good, It's good. Well, cheap, but that's a little bit of something out of nothing. Or is it not? I'm confused. The TV's showing a drop goal. Wayne Barnes is now saying something. Thomas Ramos doesn't look particularly happy. I mean, it's gone straight through. There's no issue with that whatsoever. Just confused with what Wayne Barnes is saying. I think he's been replaced here. I think that's the big thing. Yeah, he has been replaced. And Mathieu Jalabert will come to take to the park. Right, deep restart this time from Ross Byrne. Right, the restart there, falling the way of Huey Keenan. Or the apply from the restart, rather. Mac Hansen, flat to James Lowe. And he's just tipped into Peno's hands, but then downloaded him out. So it's actually worked quite nicely. Taking quickly of Craig Casey going to... Does Tom O'Toole's on the park now. So Finley beat him off. Andrew Porter's still on there. Good hands is from Ireland. Ringrose signed to straighten. Henderson, it's a good carry from him. Craig Casey to the left-hand side, out to Byrne. Flat to O'Toole once again. Craig Casey goes to Doris, showing go. Gets in between two players and finds a meter. Now Byrne to Lowe, joining the line. Oh, it's gone straight through the hands of Ringrose. She's under a bit of pressure now. And not too much answer. Craig Casey just trips over the top. He's spotted a bit of space in there. That's going to run all the way. That's a brilliant kick from Craig Casey. Goodness me. Under a bit of pressure. Not too much on it. He's just tipped it over the top. They've gained 35 meters from it. Really good work there from the little scrum off. Dan Baby said, do you think Warren Brosnan had a baby with an Irish lady and her surname was Sexton? I mean, if he did, she would have had to. She must have been pretty rapid and pretty skillful. Because I don't think Warren Brosnan is producing too many fly halves like in the mold of Johnny Sexton with his genes. France had a bad draw. Italy and Rome now in Dublin. Yeah, well, I mean, Scotland went to Twickenham and now they're going to the Millennium later. So, yeah, two teams always going to have a bit of a bad one. It's a bit of a messy line. In fact, it's popped straight back to Jack Conan. So France line out disaster. And all of a sudden, Ireland are on the doorstep. Craig Casey wants quick ball. James Ryan making a few meters. They're within 5. Once again, quick ball there from Craig Casey. Ronan Keller here is just short. Goal. That's so annoying. He's almost been dragged over in the defense. It'll be a goal line dropout. But I'll tell you what, that was a heart and mouse. And they've done it a couple of times here, haven't they? Where France have looked really good. And then the set piece, off the set piece, and 2-59, and they bounced the ball away from Dupont straight into the hands of Jack Conan. And then just, the line that's just dragging. In fact, it's actually gone forward there, to be honest. And the restart falling to Mac Hansen. The Ireland will have to start once again. And he runs straight into Wardy. Casey. Bit of intent there from Jack Conan. Strong carry from the number 8. Flat from Byrne to Ian Henderson. Ross Byrne looking to wrap around. Hugh Keane almost getting through a gap. Looking for an offload with no one available. Craig Casey decided to go into the right-hand side. O'Toole popping up to Porter. Porter under a bit of pressure there. We'll just take it down there. So I'm going to have to restart here. James Ryan. He's worked hard. Really, really hard all day. McCloskey goes pretty direct. So it's actually Ringrose. Now Casey to James Ryan. Once again, another carry from the number 5. And is that a penalty for France? It is a penalty for France. And it's really good work from the big man. Main Tafa Fanua. He's gotten over that ball and Jackal's. I mean, how can you let that guy jackal the ball? Really, really poor. Yeah, Andrew Porter, Caelan Doris, they've got to do better than that. They have to do better than that. Ball retention is key here. With 15 minutes to go. That's a big kick from France as well. Right, so France, not out of this game by any means, by the way. 6 points. So a converted try would actually seal them the win. And I wanted to know earlier, you know, when France took the 3 points, which was the obvious thing to do, and harsh, you know, you can't look at things retrospectively. But they were looking at a bonus point potentially that time if they had scored. And I thought they did have the momentum. So they've been brave, gotten that bonus point. They probably would have sealed the win as well. Because they'll be sitting here, if it was a converted try, for example, they would have been sitting on 29 points. And Stuart McCloskey leaves the field. Bundy Aki will come on, bring a lot of physicality. Very directed, Bundy Aki. James Porter getting a bit of treatment there for blood nose. Always looks like he's in the wars, isn't he? Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. By the way, a couple of new faces that we have seen today, which is really cool to see. So trying to get to that 23,500 mark. That's our next sort of mark. So about 240 odd away from that. So please do subscribe if you are new. Gail Fico with the back of the line out there. Good hands this from France and Mufana. Being brought up by Bundy Aki, his first contribution. Anton Dupont spinning away from the right time to go to the right side, and Tuipanano was not expecting that ball, but does manage to take it and bring it down. So France possession just inside our territory. Working towards the right hand side, good hands, and Jalonch is going to throw that ball back inside, and Gail Fiku is going to clean up, throws long ball out towards, I think it was Mathieu Jalabert. A really good reading of the game there from Hugo Keenan. That ball had bounced another way. It could have been trouble city now. James Lowe to Mac Hansen looking for the counter attack here. Island Hansen drifting inside. He gets a 1-of-1. Eventually brought down by Charles Ullivon. Slow ball here from Ireland. Ball is available though for Craig Casey. Inside ball. Josh van der Fleer. He's had a very quiet half. I'd like to see more of him with the ball in hand. Pick up and go though from Caelan Doris. That's gained a few meters. That's good work from the number 8. Craig Casey slow there. Tripping over Charles Ullivon, good work this now. And Tom O'Toole through a gap. Oh, look at Tom O'Toole. Look at the tight head. Straight through the gap. Things you love to see. Slow ball, slow ball. There, he's got to release it now. Now kicking behind from Ross Byrne. And this is not going to run. This is not going to run. It's going to run. It's going to run. Oh, it's hit the goal line drop. Jeep, I'll tell you what. I mean, it actually hit the corner flag. And Penal was almost a bit short there. So I want to look at this Tom O'Toole run. It's a nice kick in there by Ross Byrne. Just turning the players. Jack Cohen is desperately trying to get there. Right, so the restart here going. Restart, so Ireland will get possession back. 12 minutes left basically in this game. Ireland still 6 points ahead. They'll be desperate to try and score a try. That could be bonus point territory. And Caelan Doris is going to build up a bit of steam here from the... No. Just sort of slows down, brings a couple of steps in, and eventually brought down. Ireland just outside of 22. James Ryan, once again, that must be about his 15, 16 carry days. Worked really hard as the Ireland number 5. Slow ball this for Casey. He's got Byrne on his right hand side. Byrne does go to Bundy Aki. Bundy Aki shifting towards the left. Now Josh van der Fleer. Bouncing away from one. Just need somebody to sort of put the hammer down a little bit. It's a little bit passive at the moment. McAloo trying to get over and trying to win a breakdown. Now Byrne inside ball to Tom O'Toole. He's been quite industrious since coming on with ball in hand. I tell you what, we haven't actually, I don't even think we've seen a scrum since he's been on, but he's enjoyed running with the ball. James Ryan with the ball once again. Bit of momentum being lost there, not too much on. So cross kick coming from Byrne. Mac Hansen is tearing after him and he will find touch, so it's not the worst result. They'll pin France back. He's gained 30 meters as well. This has actually been pretty good from Ross Byrne. I've enjoyed the way he's actually controlled things. Very much playing territory, sort of pinning France back and kind of making them live inside their own 22. And we have seen France make mistakes inside this area. So it's a pretty good tactic, to be honest. Pin them back, let them make the mistakes, put the pressure on them. You know, put a line-out jumper up, see if they make the mistake. So I've actually really enjoyed the little Ross Byrne cameo we've seen. Right, here we go. Big line at the F for France. Julien Marchand still on the park. Andrew Porter has left the park, by the way, so he'll be replaced by Dave Kilcoyne. Gail Fiku also, I think, leaving the park here. I think that looks like a HIA, so interesting to see who come on in his place. So Charles Olivon is off for Francois Close. Fiku's actually going back to his mark. Looks a bit groggy. Much better line out there from France. But no momentum there from the Maul. So Dupont's going to have to take this. He needs to find a good clearance. Not going to find touch though. Mac Hansen wants to go himself as Mac Hansen. Gets away from one. Gets away from another. Is eventually brought down. But good momentum. Good run there from Mac Hansen. Craig Casey going to Caelan Doris. Good footwork to get away from one. Just short of the 22 here. Ireland once again parking the French right back. And Bundy Aki steps on the angle. Just short of the 22 once again. And once again, Gail Fico a little bit slow to get up. Almost looked a bit forward there from Ross Burns. James Lowe goes into the 22. Quick ball from Casey. First carry here for Dave Kilcoyne. And Casey just short. There's not much space to work with. And Jack Conan will just hammer it up. A couple of phases here. Casey, a bit of space down the short side. Wants to go on a snipe by himself, but it quickly closed up for him. Matt Hansen will now fill in at scrum half. He's going to go to Jack Conan. Sorry, Ian Henderson rather. Nice leg drive from Ian Henderson. Really good work. Finding a few meters. Matt Hansen going himself. I tell you what, I like Matt Hansen, but I always feel he kind of overplays it at times. Ross Byrne popping up to Caelan Doris. Casey. Kilcoyne back on the angle. Oh, he stepped somebody down. That's a nice big carry from him. Ireland forward starting to put in a shift here. Now Jack Conan up against Gail Fiku. Driving hard as well, making a meter or two. Casey now going to Bundy Aki. He goes nice and low in the contact. Now Casey looking to work towards the left-hand side. Ian Henderson popping it to Ross Byrne. To Mac Hansen. Mac Hansen gets away from one. Eventually brought down by... It's a very important tackle that he made by Anthony Jelonch. Back to Henderson. He's trying to put them on the front foot once again. Lost a bit of momentum here of Ireland. Ross Byrne popping up to Roddy Keller here. Quick ball from Casey now to the left-hand side to Tom O'Toole. Marchand trying to get over that ball once again. Oh, that's a great read from Gail Fiku, because I think if Bundy Aki manages to make a pass there, they could be in big trouble. Caelan Doris has picked up and gone though. He's trying to throw it out towards... It's really good working. Ringrose with Ringrose going over. There it is. The bonus point for Ireland. Well, Ringrose, he's been a bit quiet the entire day, but what an intervention that is. The handoff, the strength, and he's over in the corner. That will be game, set, and match in theory for Ireland. More to the point, that's the bonus point. The number one team in the world will remain at the top of the rankings if it does remain like this. And, you know, this is the thing about world-class players. They can have quiet games. They can sort of be a little bit passive. When they get their chance, they'll take it. And what a moment that is. There's so many numbers. That's a fantastic pass there. He steps inside, outside, handoff, bang, bang. Raise the tackle, gets away, goes over. I mean, bang, inside of Jalibert, hands him off. Yeah, that's brilliant work. Brilliant work from the outside centre. Does manage to come inside as well to try and make Ross Burns' job a little bit easier with the conversion. That should be the game, though, and that's a fantastic contribution from Gary Ringrose. As I said, the best players can be quiet. They can kind of be out of it when they get that small chance. A little bit of sniff to make a difference. They can, and he has. Really enjoy watching Gary Ringrose play his rugby, and that's a fantastic try from him. Really good work, and this has been a very polished performance from Ireland. You know, I think that they've really dominated possession, the territory. The fact that the last 20 minutes, I've been very impressed with Ross Byrne. He's really pegged France back. And, yeah, Ross Byrne will take over the kicking duties. Very good off the tee as Ross Byrne. And, yeah, he adds the extras. 32 points to 19. You got to think that that is it. You don't think there can't be too many ways back here for France. A polished performance from Ireland, and I think the main thing is that every player that's come on has made a difference, has looked comfortable. Tom O'Toole's come on with a bit of a cameo. Jack Conan, Ian Henderson have worked really hard. Ross Byrne has controlled this game beautifully in the last sort of 15 minutes. And the much talked about French side have looked a little bit ordinary today, it must be said. And I think that's a testament probably more to Ireland than it is to France. Also, shout out to the offload from Doris. I mean, jeepers, he flung that wide. Right, Casey after the kickoff. The safety of touch, so Ross Burns going to hammer this down the middle of the park. Jalabert underneath it. What can he look to conjure up? Wants to run himself. Chips it ahead of himself, and it's just outside 22. Ross Byrne giving it up to James Lowe. James Lowe puts it onto his left boot. Pinot goes inside to remain Intermac. He's getting away from James Lowe. Oh, it's really good work. It's been reeled in by a couple of forwards. Good to work there from Ireland. The work rate's been very impressive as well from Ireland. There's quite a few tackles today, but they have worked very hard. Fernand brings him Dupont. Dupont's through. He's got Pen on the outside. If you can find him, it's got to be a try. He chips it ahead. Oh, the ball's going further and further wide. Bundyaki's dove on it. And he dives on it, manages to get back. Not sure it's the right option there from Dupont to go to the boot. Maybe the kick probably should have just been a bit better. It's just, I mean, just spilled off his boot and just sort of rolled further and further away from Dane Penno. He's got so much pace, but the ball just rolling away from him into the path of Bundyaki, who, yeah, just dove on it and said thank you very much. Craig Casey in the box kick doesn't find touch, so inside ball to Yale Fiku, and he's drifting towards the right side, looking to straighten, runs into Ronan Kelleher, Bundyaki, who are up to the task. The ball's come a bit loose actually. And Tom O'Toole, of all people, go Tom O'Toole! Remain to Fernand, making the tackle. I tell you what, this has been quite a cameo from the tight head in the loose. And a penalty for Ireland as well for not rolling. Tom O'Toole, look at you. Little biscuit. And you can see, I don't think the kick was the worst option, but just that particular kick just rolling further and further away. Great dive from Bundyaki. Less than 5 minutes to play. Ross Burns going to be able to kick this probably into 22. If you can get it right. Just outside, I think it really will land up. Yeah, just outside 22. More to the point, they can really run the clock down. And Caelan Doris is the Six Nations player of the match. Yeah, probably deserved. He's been good tonight. He's been very reliable. We're going to look at some of the stats and see exactly what his game has been all about. But in the meantime, Keller has gone to Ian Henderson, and they're looking for the rolling more here. I'm looking for the 5th try, which would be absolutely massive considering that they're playing against probably the World Cup favourites right now. Bundyaki runs into Matt, bounces off him, is eventually brought down by Watchalong. Presented well for Casey, goes to Ross Byrne. Ross Byrne going to Gary Ringrose, the try scorer. Slow ball this time, yeah, for Casey. Back out to Mac Hansen, who wants to chip in behind, and Demeter is retreating. Mac Hansen all over him and trying to get the ball over there. I tell you what, I was almost surprised. I thought it was going to be a penalty either way there, either for holding on or for not releasing. And this is very slow from France. Right, trying to find Caelan Doris's stats so we can sort of read up his game. At Anton Dupont, his kick is charged down. I tell you, when it's going bad, it's going badly. Dupont under a bit of pressure here from Josh van der Fleer. James Lowe coming. They're going to try and hold him up as well. Let go. They do get his knees to the ground, so they do have to release him. So the ball is available for France. Less than 2.5 minutes left. Very slow ball this year from France. And eventually falls back to remain Intermac, who does find touch. Right, let's have a look at Caelan Doris' game, shall we? 15 carries, 8 tackles, 89 meters gained, 2 defenders beaten, 2 offloads, a try assist, 7 passes, 8 tackles made, 3 missed, 1 bad pass. Pretty good numbers from Caelan Doris. I'd like to look at James Ryan because, yeah, I mean, 17 tackles, he's made 8 without a single missed, 8 carries. What a game it is from him as well. Mac Hansen's made plenty of meters, I'm sure. 53. Hugo Keenan, I'm sure, has also run quite a few meters. 182 meters run from Hugo Keenan. That's amazing. Inside ball to Bundyaki, goes forward. Piku just pops it up to Mofana, who's drifting inside. Oh, good hands. Good pick up from Peno. He's got to spin away from Gary Ringrose. Gets away from low. Drifting towards the left. Sends it to Piku. Under a bit of pressure. The ball's kind of a bit loose there. And Dumate's going to be reeled in by Jack Conan as well. I mean, the French are playing ludicrous rugby at the moment. And they're going to be able to pick their... Oh, knock on. Eventually goes back for it. That could have been... Right, good line up there from France. Last minute of the game. And I'll tell you what, Ireland will be very much Six Nations favourites after this performance. They look very, very polished. France looking for consolation try. Not too much going on yet, to be honest. Still kind of falling apart a little bit for the French. And go back for a penalty.
C'était superbement fait de la part.
A good kick from the penalty as well. So last opportunity for France to try and find a consolation, get themselves within 7, get themselves a point.
C'était superbement.
Right, McAloo goes up and comes down. Right, Anton Dupont with the back. This is the last player of the game. Into Mac drifting. And has that been knocked forward? That has been knocked forward. So that will be the game. Final score at the Viva Stadium, 32 points to 19. And what a performance and what a moment that is. And Andy Farrell will be very impressed. Fabian Galtier will be very upset. He's never lost to Ireland, both as a player and as a coach. First time for everything, isn't it? Chris is saying, great commentary, much appreciated. I enjoyed it very much. Well, thank you very much. I hope you did subscribe. Moonho saying, France is totally overrated. Their attack is pathetic. Bad loss against a weakened Irish team. New Zealand in the box will crush France and Ireland in the World Cup. Bold talk there, fighting talk. And we'll see you guys in about half an hour's time for Scotland versus Wales. Again, I'm also very looking forward to, so hopefully you guys join there. Before then, though, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel and head over to that one. We'll be live there very shortly. And come keep me company. It's a Saturday night. Let's go watch some ruggers. Let's go and enjoy things. I'm supposed to be at the cricket right now. I'm not at the cricket, so the best thing we can do is watch a bit of rugby. And I'll see you guys there.